Bună ziua! Sunt în Berna astăzi la o întâlnire specială cu cineva care mă cunoaște de foarte mulți ani, de pe vremea când eram asistent universitar la Universitatea din Fribourg. Este vorba de Stéphane Laederich. Am lucrat la fundația al cărei director el este, apoi când am devenit consultant independent, am continuat colaborarea cu fundația lui și cu el. Acum ne întâlnim pentru altceva, nu pentru proiectele noastre despre combaterea rasismului sau despre excluziunea socială sau despre migrație și așa mai departe. El este cetățean francez, așa că și el va ieși la vot pe 26 mai și a aflat că eu sunt candidat pe liste românești, pe lista Alianței 2020 USR PLUS și a dorit să ne întâlnim înainte de alegeri, să discutăm puțin despre Europa și despre campanie.
A few things about me. I'm a French citizen. I live in Switzerland, in France, in various Eastern European countries. I've worked for the better part of 20 years in Eastern Europe. I'm really concerned about the way Europe goes, and I'm really following Gabriela and her work in Romania for the elections, because I think it's really important that we change something about Europe and we change something about the way Eastern Europe is functioning currently. I know Gabriela since, oh my God, 12 years at least.
I was a student at that time.
She was a student at that time. She was actually an assistant of Professor Fleiner in Fribourg, and we got to know her. She was organizing a conference on minorities, and we were attending there, and that's how we got to know her. We also realized that she was working on the side, so things after the old, she started working for us because I'm the director of a foundation here in Switzerland, which is engaged with minorities and Eastern Europe and migration. So she started working for us on the migration front and on the, pretty much on stereotypes, on the issues, but also on projects, on very concrete projects about Eastern Europe. We worked for several years together on those topics, also with the Swiss government, with the Migrationsamt, which is the Office for Migration here in Switzerland. When she stopped working for us, she actually worked for Swiss Peace for a long time, which is a Swiss organization, and she organized several papers about minorities in Eastern Europe, one of which I wrote in one of the books. And essentially, she also worked then freelance for us, and she's still doing so currently. Whenever we have things which are projects to verify, projects to understand, seed money to think, any kind of things that where we need expertise, especially of Romania, but also general for Eastern Balkans, we call her and she goes for us in the country. So still collaboration after all these years.
And the last one was in Romania.
The last one was in Romania, yes.
On education.
On education, yeah, that was a very important one. I think one of the key points, and really important, is switch from protest to trying to get elected, because I think right now Eastern Europe is at the key transformation point, and there's lots of populism, there's lots of corruption, and one has to tackle that from inside and not through protests. Protests are good for a time, but one needs to get to the power, essentially. Yeah, so I think really, I hope, fingers crossed, but voting is really important everywhere in Europe, because I mean, coming from France, we have the same problem. We have populists, we have extreme right. Extreme right is pretty much everywhere. Nationalism is everywhere on the march. And I think it's really bad for Europe, and it's really bad for every one of us.
But you are a French citizen, you are living in Zurich, and you are working, you are managing many projects in the eastern part of Europe. How do you see Romania now, in the European context?
From my perspective, Romania has a huge potential, and it has a huge potential essentially because, contrary to other countries in Eastern Europe, there is a real inside opposition and real inside protest against the corruption, against the populism, and really towards more integration in Europe. So I think it's really cool to see that in the cities and inside of the country.
So the civil society.
The civil society has a much stronger hold than in neighboring countries, definitely Hungary or Bulgaria or Yugoslavia. ex-Yugoslavia, I should say, nowadays. So really, it has a huge potential. It's a beautiful country. I mean, it's really beautiful. Really, I think it has the potential, and it's really very different now than a lot of the other countries. So I think the potential is there, and I hope it works.
Ne vedem pe 26 mai, în doar câteva zile. Haideți la vot! Hai România!